The following program is a production of All the Way Live Entertainment.
This show is sponsored by APCW Wrestling Academy. Learn wrestling from WWE Hall of Famer Robert Gibson. If you're interested in becoming a professional wrestler, contact them at 770-871-5417 or online at apcwdouglasville@gmail.com. Also, by Collar and Elbow Brand. Save 10% on your next purchase by using our discount code WPNRUSSELL. That's WPNRUSSELL at checkout and get a discount on great collar and elbow products.
You know, and we all have our 15 minutes of fame, and I'd like to take a couple of my 15 minutes to talk about the rights and the wrongs in the world of professional wrestling.
WWE Championship.
This match is for the ECW World Heavyweight Championship.
The World Heavyweight Championship.
The match and new NWA Heavyweight Champion.
We appreciate you guys coming out and taking your time to support women's wrestling in America.
This match is for the AWA World Heavyweight Wrestling Championship.
It is the interview so nice I had to do it twice, so at least that's what I tell myself. The truth of the matter is I had to begrudgingly tell this young lady the one thing that no man wants to tell a lovely young lady is that I had equipment failure. Our first interview was completely lost, and however, she was nice enough to come back and do this thing again. And I've given this a significant amount of time since our last talk, so nearly everything that I and she and we have spoken about has been forgotten. So it is fresh all over again, and without further ado, and I'm going to try to get this all in one breath, she is one half of the Sabotage Tag Team Champion. She's the fun and sexy, the master of the hoola-hoop, hailing from the summer of '69, the once and former San Francisco treat, Phoebe.
Yes, you got it all in one breath.
I couldn't remember.
I was actually holding my breath.
You were holding your breath for that one? I was trying to make sure that I got it all in there. I know, I'm trying to get you the royal treatment, roll out the red carpet, if you will. Figuratively speaking. And I do remember, this is one thing I do recall at the time when I started studying or doing research on your matches before you were being announced as the San Francisco treat. I think you were working to try to kind of phase that down, last I recall.
Yes, I haven't been called that since I left Oklahoma. Some people, I went to Oklahoma, I worked a show, it was it was my last match of 2018, and the only people that still call me San Francisco treat is all the promotions in Oklahoma. I'm forever going to be that in Oklahoma. I, for some reason, can't get that out.
well, I won't encourage the San Francisco treat thing, which is why I added in the once and former San Francisco treat. So, to you promoters out there, she is no longer the San Francisco treat. She's the Texas treat, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is there
Just
such a thing?
Phoebe. No. There's no such thing.
Well, you could be the first. I mean, look, you're a wrestler. You have to have some sort of crazy, over-the-top, weird, wild moniker that you could toss at people. I mean, Master of the Hula-Hoop is, I think, pretty impressive in and of itself, but still.
I've never been called the master of anything, so I appreciate that.
Well, okay, so I think what we can do now is we can get that kind of started. Phoebe, Master of the Hula-Hoop and Balloon Animals. Can you do Balloon Animals?
I haven't, only because, and I remember talking to someone about this recently, I would look back on videos or pictures, and my hair is just completely wild. My eyebrows are smeared, the balloon starts to deflate, when I hand them out, either if it gets too hot or too cold. If it's too hot, there have been numerous times where the balloon would pop on someone's head or pop in my hand. Ooh. So I kind of just took that out for a little bit. I still have loads of balloons, though. I am thinking about bringing them back in, but for now, I'm trying to figure out a way to make it work without popping or shrinking or, you know, wasting my time on this beautiful balloon and it won't last for like 5 seconds.
Well, you know, you can always incorporate that if you ever go heel. Now, let me just say up front, I do not perceive Phoebe as a heel. That's just me. Now, you could be a fantastic heel for all I know, but I don't. You know, you seem far too nice. Such a lovely smile, all that good stuff. I just can't see you as mean. But if you were going to do it, that'd be the time to do it. Like hand somebody a half-ass balloon animal. You know, it
Or
pops too.
pop it in their face.
Yeah, see, there you go. You wouldn't have to worry about this. Like, here you go, kid. Pow. All right. You know, just kind of move on.
There's been a few times where I'm just now debuting for a promotion, and it was for there's this promotion in Texas. It's Southern Plains Championship Wrestling, and I debuted there. I went out there hula-hooping, all fantastic, fun time, and then all of a sudden, I'm just hearing boos. People are just booing me like they wanted to see me get beat up. I don't know why. I was really nice. I was trying to get the crowd going, but they're just booing me. And so if the crowd wants to see me get beat up, then I guess that's what they're going to get today. There's been like 3 times where I'm like completely floored. I'm like, damn, they don't like me.
Well, you know, wrestling fans, we tend to get a little fickle sometimes, and I know some crowds are, you know, it's tough being a pure heart baby face in some areas because I think people just boo just for the sake of booing when that is presented to them, depending on where you are, you know. Because again, I really have a hard time looking at you and saying, "Oh, heel," you know that.
You know, my home promotion, or my former home compound in Oklahoma, even though I was being me, I was a bad guy. But I didn't do bad guy things. It was just they just didn't like me. I was like, okay, I guess they just don't like me for no reason. And then it was like me and Skylar Spice. We're like the last 2 women that lasted before we left compound. But she is just this badass, dominant force and barely cracking a smile. They're cheering her, and I'm coming out here all happy and bubbly every time. Never failed. They just did not like me. I didn't know what was going on, but I gave them what they wanted, and that was just get beat up.
Well, you know, in fairness to Scholar, she is the dominant Scholar Slice, so you know I think that there's a certain amount of respect that people have just watching somebody who gets to come out and just beat people up.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be working Skylar. I'd be working like Erica or Nikki Knight, and the same crowd just did not like me. I was like, I guess I don't know what to do anymore. So I mean,
No.
at first it like completely again like threw me off balance, but then after a while it doesn't matter what I want. It matters what the fans want, and as long as they're entertained, and if it's getting chopped numerous times or superplex numerous times, and so be it.
How long has it been now? Because you know I feel like there's been, you know, you probably had a significant amount of growth since we tried to do this interview originally. I know you were moving at the time, or you just finished moving. I think one of the two. And
Oh yeah, I just finished moving. Yeah, no, I was just in the process of it because we kept scheduling. It's like, oh, like I'm moving this week, and then like I had to like go back to Oklahoma and pick up some more stuff. I finally like moved in, and my birthday's Monday, so I'm having some people over.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, happy birthday to you.
Thank you. I had to think of what my age was like a week ago.
That's the sure sign that you're young right there. It's like I don't remember how old I am. That you get
I
it.
keep saying I keep saying I'm like 25. I'm not 25. I'm 26. But it's close. It's close.
Well, I mean, you're still in like the wonder years. So you got life by the throat. That's at 25, 26.
The wonder years. I'm still wondering what I'm doing.
What are you talking? You got it. What are you talking about? We, we have this thing figured out. You are Phoebe, master of the hula hoop, professional
Yes.
wrestler. That is a title beyond all titles. I don't know if there's another human being on the planet that can walk around and say that they have that master of the hula hoop and pro wrestler.
You're right. I haven't seen someone. I mean, I have seen like a couple of wrestlers or female wrestlers that like come out with the hula hoop, but not really like live it. You know, they just have the hula hoop to have the hula hoop. I have numerous hula hoops. It's ridiculous in my house.
I think your Instagram kind of illustrated that. I saw you do, and by the way, would you just say your Instagram right since I bring it up? So if anybody's looking to see this particular video, they can find you. What is your Instagram, please?
Oh, it's Phoebe_1love.
Okay.
All lowercase.
All right, so if you go to that Instagram, I believe you posted one where you have like this light up hula hoop and you're kind of, practicing the whole routine and whatnot. But behind you on the wall was like 8 or 10 other hula hoops just kind of hanging there. And I'm sure that's probably not all of them, but I'm just saying.
Oh, there's more than just 8.
Oh, okay. So,
I think that's what I mostly like spend my money on is hula hoops.
Okay. And for those that are listening for wrestling stuff, I promise I will get to the wrestling stuff in a minute. I just, I have to engage this now. I have to understand the fascination with the hula hoop. So we're gonna dive into this. We're gonna do a deep dive into the hula hoop phenomenon that exists inside of Phoebe's world right now. So tell me, Phoebe. First off, you have more than 8, which is probably 7 more than I would ever own. So I need to know, why is having one other hula hoop different than the last? Because I'm sure there's some reason.
Oh, one reason is there's different type of colors, designs. There's like light up hula hoop. There's mini hula hoops where it's like you can do 2 at once, which I'm still trying to learn. There's fire poise, which is a hula hoop and fireballs sticking out. I'll get back to that later. And then that's just it. There's so many different sizes, so many thickness of it. I even have a weighted hula hoop that's about 3 pounds.
Okay, now what does the weighted hula hoop provide you? Is that for a particular type of trick, or I mean, it's got to be for some version of performance?
It mostly helps me with not body control, but just being able to like feel the hula hoop on my body, if that makes sense. Just kind of being one with my body and swaying and just feeling where the hula hoop lands, like on my shoulder, feeling it on my back, on my neck, on my hand. And then once I get to like a lighter hula hoop, it's easier for me to like move with it because I can feel it. You know what I mean?
Okay, so having the weighted hula hoop basically trains your body to be ready for, let's say, average weight hula hoop, because average weight hula hoop clearly isn't 3 pounds. But if you can handle a 3-pounder, then you can surely handle this. I guess it'd be like the difference of driving a stick shift opposed to a man. If you can handle a stick shift, you can drive any other car.
That's true. I do not know how to drive a stick. I know how to go like reverse and like first gear, but that's about it.
Oh my goodness! It took me a while to learn how to drive a stick. I'm not even sure if I can still do it. I haven't had to drive a stick in probably over 10 years at this point. But I had to
Oh
learn.
my gosh, I hope I never get to drive one. Oh my goodness.
There is a perk. I understand where you're coming from. I get it because getting behind the wheel of those and having to shift, it can be intimidating to say the least. But, and this is lesson for all you kids out there that haven't done it yet. There is a perk to that. One thing, if you have a stick shift car, you almost are not remotely concerned about somebody coming there trying to steal that thing. It's just not a commonly stolen item. It's just,
Mm-mm.
they see
Or
that,
if
move on.
or if the world ends and you have to immediately get into a car and it's a stick shift, you can drive it
That's right.
and get away.
And now why I say if you know how to drive one of those, you will know you can pretty much drive any other vehicle that's around.
That's true. I've heard that. I just never tried it. I don't have the patience for it.
You got yes, you do. Listen to the patience you telling me about learning the hula. I you probably told me more about hula hoops right now than I have ever known in my lifetime. Do you realize that?
It's a little passion of mine. I enjoy it. It's like
And
I'm a kid again.
and that's great. That's great because when you're passionate about stuff and you dive into it and you find out things that the average person would not. I never knew that there was such a thing as a weighted hula hoop.
Oh, it's mostly for it's a good like ab workout too. Don't get me wrong. Try and do that for 10 minutes and like your sides are sore.
And see, I didn't know that. I would have never known that. The only thing I would have ever known about a hula hoop is you could have got it from a toy store. And I am sure
Walmart.
that the ones that you're getting are not from toy stores.
Oh no, like my light up hula hoop is like $300.
Woo!
My cheapest hula hoop, it's like I want to say $30.
That's the cheapest.
Yeah, and I
Wow.
have more than 8 hula hoops. So you can just imagine how much money I've spent on hula hoops.
So now we have to find some kind of way to incorporate this back into your wrestling world because you already come out with it. So I
Yeah.
mean, so that's a perk right there. But I'm thinking at this point you should be selling yourself as, hey, during the intermission, I can go out there and put on a show with the 2 and 3 hula hoops at a time or something like that. With turn out the lights and I'll break out the light up hula hoop. Oh,
I've done that before, but also you're not going to believe me when I say this, but I get kind of shy when like all eyes are on me in that way. I do. I get a little bit nervous. My hands get a little bit more sweaty. I'm just afraid I'm going to miss the hula hoop. But I do work for an entertainment company called E3 Entertainment as a stilt walker. And if you want to book me as a hula hooper for your nightclub, for your party, for a little school get together or anything, e3entertainment.com.
well, I'm still trying to get
I
you.
just did a little plug.
Yeah, I saw that. I got no problem with the shameless plug. That works. I'm still trying to get you in Atlanta. I think the last time we spoke, that was one of the questions. Why haven't you made it into Atlanta? You and Baby D, fun and sexy, tag team champions. You should have made it into the city by now to defend against some of the tag team. And you're at a prime time right now because there's going to be a trickle down effect of these tag team championships that the women are getting in WWE. Of course,
Yeah.
every other promotion in the world is now going to start feeding off women tag teams all of a sudden. That.
Yeah, we are definitely going to venture out more. I like her and I both want to change the way that women are viewed in wrestling. Like you don't need to be a certain type. You don't need to be tan and beautiful. You don't need to be like outrageously scary to stand out or anything. You can just be you and have fun and be confident. And I remember earlier you were talking about like my growth in wrestling. I think the one thing that I've really shown was confidence. and I didn't really have confidence when I first started out wrestling. It took me this past year, like I just moved to Texas in April. It took me 3 months into training down here in Texas to look confident. And then I started like getting compliments from other workers, just saying that they could see the confidence in me that they didn't see in the first place. So I think that's what really helped me just in wrestling alone is I'm confident in what I'm doing. I'm confident in myself. I'm confident in my person that I'm working with, my opponent, and my tag partner. So confidence is definitely key in wrestling. If you don't have confidence in what you're doing or what you're selling to the audience, then you're not going to achieve those goals, you know?
Yeah, I can see that. And it's good that you have a self-aware that you've grown in that way. You know, I think for the benefit of the fact that the first interview was lost, I got to recap on one or two things here. Let's go back to the reasons as to why you got into wrestling in the first place. I know you've talked to me about it before. I don't remember, you know, it's been months now, so it's kind of vague. But definitely for the benefit of those who weren't in on that conversation, that's everybody. Let's talk about how Phoebe got involved in wrestling to start.
Wrestling to start, oh my gosh. I started watching ECW. I just remember I couldn't sleep one night. I was really young. I can't remember the age, but I was really young. And my uncle was watching wrestling. It was just loud in the living room. I just went and peeked to see what he was watching. And I saw Sabu get tore up from Terry Funk. And I just remember, because I recently watched this match like a few months ago. But he tore his bicep.
Oh yeah,
he had it was a barbed wire match.
That's right, the barbed wire massacre. He cut his bicep open. Yes.
Yeah, and just like mid power bomb, he's like taping his bicep closed and still following through with it. And most kids would be like, "Oh my gosh!" But I was completely fascinated with it. My mom didn't really like the fact that I was fascinated with it, so it was kind of like I had to wait till she was asleep on certain nights, and then my uncle would say anything, and then I'll just go and like watch ECW with him. And then years later, grew up. And I found about Monday Night Wars and Monday Night Raw and WC. Oh, not years later, maybe like a few months later. I'm over exaggerating on that bit, but it was just channel surfing. And I clicked on Monday Night Raw, and I found WCW. Like, there's more wrestling. And then my mom, of course, didn't want me to watch it, so I ended up stopped watching wrestling up until I want to say like college. This is like right after I graduated high school, and I don't know for the life of me why I just went on my YouTube and looked up professional wrestling, but then ever since then, it was kind of like memories were coming back. And then I went full submerged and caught up on almost everything that I missed growing up just because I couldn't watch it. And, yeah, it was really fascinating. I just going back, and I was kind of like embarrassed a little bit. But then when I found out like other people liked wrestling and they liked it just as much as I did, it was mostly guys.
Of course.
But yeah, and that's initially how I got into it. And back home, the compound had shows every Saturday, and I was just bored one night driving around, and I saw a kiosk that said live professional wrestling. I went to the compound shows for a month. I went every Saturday for a month and was like really thinking about, do I want to do this? I was researching more and more and more about like the pros and cons, you know, reading people that talked about wrestling, like how much they've missed in life and just how hard it is and everything that was needed for them to pursue it. And I finally just went up to the announcer because he said, if you want to be a professional wrestler or learn the steps, you blah, 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 come to me after the show and I'll get you connected to the right people. So I waited and introduced myself. He introduced me to the promoter, which happened to be the trainer as well. And I started training. And then my first match, I sprained my neck and spine, and I was out for over a month. But that didn't stop me. I still kept going. And then, I was so comfortable in Oklahoma and with the same people that I didn't have a desire to take it to the next level until I went to my first seminar, which was Rise in Chicago, and I met 60 plus women wrestlers of different shapes, different styles, different personalities from many different places. And I think that was the moment I was like, oh, you can go out and do more stuff. It was just more going out of your comfort zone. And it took me a while. Definitely did. I haven't even lived in Texas for a year yet. And it took me 2 years of wrestling to finally get out of my comfort zone and finally be able to, wrestle different people, which, there were some bad experiences, but it's lessons learned. And then whenever I went on Sabotage Wrestling and I wrestled 2 of their shows, and then whenever I found out I was going to be their tag team champions with Skylar Slice, I was super excited about it because she's she's the first person I ever met. I trained with her. I freaking love her kid and her family, and then she ended up getting pregnant, which everyone knows now. Then when he asked, I couldn't really say anything, but cast out of the bag now.
Oh yeah, there's no shock there. If you go on her IG page, it is common knowledge. And what you're talking about now, for those who kind of missed it, like you said, just a little bit of recap. You originally won the tag team championships with Skylar, right? And
we didn't get to defend the title. Not once yet.
Didn't get the chance to defend it, so that kind of what do they say? Necessity is the mother of invention, and so somebody had to invent a new tag team based off of that, because you still were available. You just needed a partner to kind of slot into where Skylar was. And lo and behold, we have Baby D.
Yes, it was a gauntlet match, and she was one of 3. It was her, me, and Skylar were the last people. And so, of course, since she was the last person besides Skylar to be, it was like a last woman standing, or last 2 women standing were the tag team champions. Okay. And they paired us together, and honestly, we have such great chemistry. At first, I was a little bit nervous because, I've met Baby D in passing. I've been on a few shows with her. She's always seemed like a really good, laughable person. She just has this energy, she's so charismatic. Kids love her. People just love her. And this was also before I moved to Texas, and she also helped me get the confidence in me and remind me why I even started wrestling, and that was just to have fun, not necessarily try and go anywhere with it. It was just something that I've always wanted to do and just wanted to have fun with it. And she brought that into me, which the whole fun part came into play, and then her sexiness came into play, and then we've been the tag team champions for over a year now, and we've debuted in Kansas City and Illinois, all over Texas. Now this year I can't really give out too much information, but we do have some really awesome opportunities that I can't wait to even announce, but everything hasn't set in stone just yet.
Okay, well that's fair. And we don't want to jinx anything by saying, well, this is what we're going to do, and then that fall through. So we'll let
Yeah.
that slide. But I do believe I know what you're talking about with the Illinois show. Was that Berwyn Championship Wrestling? Did you guys went up there?
Yeah.
Defended the titles in a three-way. I actually got the chance just before that show to. I don't know I don't remember if it was he the promoter or the booker, but I got the chance to talk with one of the gentlemen there. We went through the entire card. I mean, he had a really loaded show, so I was kind of happy for him. I was like, man, you got a lot of people, a lot of them that I hadn't met or talked to yet, but then there was a significant amount of people there that, like yourself and uh, Az Ali. I don't think Aja and Ravenna Sin made it up there. I think they had to call out. Great Cheyenne and just a slew of really talented ladies that were there and scheduled to be there. So, I mean, I thought that was like really, really great. It was the first time that I can recall that you and Baby D were working a show outside of the normal area. So I thought that was cool to see.
Yeah, it was also Baby D's like first couple of times outside of Texas. This whole time she's been wrestling in Texas, and we ended up pairing up, and we're gonna go out, make those drives, fun and sexy worldwide.
That's a T-shirt right there. That's a T-shirt.
Yes.
You need to jump on that. I know you didn't mean it, but you need to jump on that for fun and sexy worldwide.
There's so many T-shirt ideas that we have. It's ridiculous. It's just now you just added one to the pile. Now we're just indecisive now.
Okay, well, just put that in the notebook. That's got a good ring to it. It sounds.
It does.
Good, and on that worldwide tour, just make sure that you mark off Atlanta, Georgia, in there somewhere.
I've been wanting to go to Atlanta, Georgia,
Yeah.
just in general.
Well, then come on. The doors are open for you and Baby D, or just in general, like you said. But I'm sure your tag team partner will breeze through this interview at some point. So Baby D, I'm telling you, bring your partner on out here.
Oh, she'll be down. She is always down.
There it is, right there. Done. We just need to find y'all some opponents. That's it.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of women tag teams, but now since WWE unveiled this women tag team championship, I'm hoping that there's more women tag teams aside from the random hookups that promotions do on girls. Because just in Texas alone, it's just me and Baby D and the Twisted Sisters right now.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Now, I know we're going to be talking about the landscape of women's wrestling here for a moment. So everybody that's listening, I'm sure you can leave your 2 cents, leave your comments to what you think about what we're talking about below. I kind of view that one or two ways. One, that you have your promoters that follow suit of everything that the WWE does. So with tag team championships and putting emphasis on women, I think that you're going to get a few that's going to just produce some tag teams out the clear blue. My problem,
They should.
my only concern with that is I don't think that there's a good amount of them that know how to sustain it. Because I saw, I'm just going to speak for here, there was a couple of months, or let's say a little bit over a year, where the women's wrestling had gotten hot in this area, and it's just tapered off.
They all moved to Texas.
Well, they started taking bookings elsewhere. They start, like I said, some of them get flown into Texas, and then they go back, and whoever it was, I'm not going to call out any promotions by name, but the ones that were doing it, they just, and running all girl shows, they just stopped doing it.
Man.
or at least it just wasn't. It was no longer a focal point for him for whatever reason, and I don't get it. But that's me. But
I don't get it either. Oh, it's probably because the one thing that I usually that I've noticed, some promotions run like on the same day. It's like the second Saturday of every month. Like they just keep it a second Saturday. They don't change to the first or the third, or like think about like a Friday show. So maybe that could be it.
well, you're right because the one that I work with works he's booked every Saturday for the rest of 2019.
Oh,
Every
nice.
every second Saturday, sorry, for the rest of
Oh,
2019. So he's just that's his day. But you know what? Well, we're gonna work on that, Phoebe. We're gonna work on trying to get some women's wrestling back into this area because hey, it's what I do. It's the Women's Pro Wrestling Network, and I can't have a Women's Pro Wrestling Network if I don't have women wrestlers.
yeah.
You know,
That's the key thing.
so I think that it has now become my mission this year, 2019, to find some way to open those doors up just a little bit more. Maybe got to get some sponsorships. Maybe it's some other influx of revenue, if you will, so that we can bring in that Texas talent like Phoebe, like Baby D, like Skylar Slice, like Callista, Nikki Knight, so on and so forth. So, and I know I'm skipping a whole bunch to those ladies that I haven't mentioned. I apologize.
Yeah, we can just load them all up in one car and go.
You know what? That sounds great. Let's get the van rental and make that trip. See, now look at it. Now we're just booking out stuff. You know,
Yeah.
booking out a show that's not even ready yet. You know, we're getting ahead of it because somebody out there listening probably like, yeah, go ahead and do it. 'Cause
No, we are ready
I know
in
you are.
April. Talk to me in April.
Talk to you. Okay. Hey, like I said, I think I'm a few steps away. It's gonna take some sponsorships, and I know some people that's got some spare cash around. Now, if I can get that, it's gonna be on.
I need to learn about these sponsorships. They're so. I'm talking out of context. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I've heard like maybe it's just me, but like fans willing to pay travel
Mm-hmm.
to see an like X amount of wrestlers at their show. And if you're listening and you want to help pay for my travel, hit me up. DM me all social media.
Well, now that sponsorship, I think you might want to give some thought to. I don't know. Listen, you got some legitimate fans out there that'll fork out some money, and hey, I want to see the match or whatever the case may be, and that's all well and fine. But as you may or may not remember, I have a segment on Facebook called Tales of the Creep, and some of those sponsorships seem to come with a price. One of those stories that you may need to listen to yourself and the fans out there would be Shiva, formerly known as Kira Maya, who talked about somebody looking to sponsor her a trip to California to wrestle for like 2 days. It was something weird. I think she said he was going to offer her like $12,000. She's like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Oh damn.
Not, yeah, that sounds good. Assuming
Yeah.
that money actually exists.
I haven't had any of that.
Yeah.
I wish no. I just get a lot of Hispanic messages in Spanish. I don't speak Spanish.
Well,
So I wish I could understand, but
you,
I'm just they just keep being left on red because I don't know what you're saying.
copy and paste
I
it,
think.
put it in Google, and have it translated.
Oh,
Now
yeah,
you
I
may
didn't even
not
think
want to
about
do.
that.
You may not want to do that. I don't know. I mean, look, you have a demographic that you appeal to. That's also a good thing.
Yeah, I guess that's right.
Hey,
Until they find out like I'm not Hispanic, and then what? They're not interested anymore.
that won't necessarily mean that they're not interested. They may have to adjust. I mean, I don't think that the beauty's not going to fade just because you're not Hispanic, right?
That's true. Or Hawaiian,
Or
or
Hawaii.
Asian.
So
I get mistaken for all sorts of nationalities.
so is it fair to say that Phoebe is ethnically ambiguous, at least in the eyes of a lot of people?
I I wish I was all of these things. That way, I didn't. I won't have to have that awkward. Oh no, I'm not. Actually, I'm sorry. I'm a people pleaser in the end. I think that's like the biggest flaw I have.
So have we unveiled
I
the curtain here, and have we pulled back the curtain and unveiled to some people that you are not, in fact, what was the list here? Hawaiian, Asian, Hispanic. Uh, what else were you mistaken for?
Asian. There was Korean, and then what else? That's it. That's it.
Okay, well, all right. So let's just go ahead and make the announcement now that that although you are not either of those things, that does not diminish Phoebe as a person, as a talent, or as a beauty. So they have it. So if you are, you shouldn't.
I want to be all those things. I love the Hispanic culture. I love the Asian culture. I love the Hawaiian culture. I wish I was, but I'm not. I'm Native American. Although that sounds so bad. I love being Native American. I love my heritage. I One Love, again, Phoebe _ One Love on Instagram.
So native, that's right. Look, if you got to hold on to that, embrace it. Don't make it sound
You
like
know,
you sound sad that you embrace that.
oh no, no.
There you go.
Oh yeah, I'm totally embracing it. I just wish I was like, uh, I really wish I was like, I know what I am. So let me just real fast. I can't do that DNA thing
Why
because
not?
it's against my tribe's law to
Oh,
participate in that.
okay.
So I can't like go like do a swab test or anything, or do like that blood test. I forgot what it's called. Not Ancestry, but it's something. I forgot what it's called. But they like mail you a kit, and give all your DNA and ship it out, and then you get results of what your actual like nationality is and everything, percentage of what you are. I did a little bit of research. I cannot do that. I guess it's against that tribal law. I don't know if that dates back to way back when you know what happened way back when.
Yes, I do. So,
But I'm too afraid to test that if that's true.
well, all I can say in cases like that,
I don't know why we're talking about nationalities, but here we are.
I know. Look, because this is my podcast. We talk about everything under the sun. That's why, and it's all good because fans of Phoebe will understand what you're talking about, and they'll want to hear it.
I would love, now that we're still on, I would love to go Hawaii or Europe or Asia, Russia. I just want to explore everyone. Oh, that sounds so wrong. I want to explore the world.
Thank you, because
Just go, yeah, just dive right into people's heritage. Just understand. I know everything about Native American history. Now I want to know more about other people.
well, see now that right there. First off, you just reminded me. Shout out to the great Cheyenne. I need to talk to her. She was one of my first interviews what a lovely woman, you know, and I was so disappointed that she didn't get to participate on the show that she was at. I think she had some issues that hit her that weekend that it was up there. But anyway, so,
Are you talking about Cheyenne Cravens?
hmm
Oh, nice. Shout out, Cheyenne.
No,
I met her at BCW.
she showed up.
Yeah, you're talking about blonde chick, right?
No.
Oh,
The Great Cheyenne.
the Great
That's
Cheyenne.
what she
No.
likes. And I'm not gonna do her real name right now, but she might get mad at me if I do that. But
Oh, no. So there's another chick in. I know she trains in Missouri.
mhm.
She hasn't debuted yet, but I can't remember. No, I'm so sorry. I got them mixed up. Either way, shout out to the Great Cheyenne. I
There you
hope
go.
to meet you one day.
And you should meet her. She's a lovely woman. I should send you the video of the one and only match I got to produce the video for with her, which was a gauntlet match, and you'll see who she is off of that. Anyway, I totally forgot where I was going with that. It's fine. We'll move on. I know we went off the rails and started talking about ethnicity and stuff like that, but oh yeah, with the fact that a lot of your fan base has kind of mistaken you because you are what we call in the when they're casting on TV or in the movies, they would have listed you as racially ambiguous.
Okay, yeah. You know, another fan base of mine are not Native Americans, but Indians. They're
Ah,
Indian.
okay.
Yeah,
You
I would
know,
have never guessed.
well, that's not very surprising to me actually, because here's a little known fact about the Women's Pro Wrestling Network YouTube channel. There has been a significant jump in viewership in India. Don't know why. It just has.
I'm glad it did. Hopefully, I can go over. India is another country I'd want to go to.
Now, I will say specifically which match has drawn the most attention for anybody that's interested. If you go onto our page and you go through the video section, there's one match that has somehow just cleaved a ridiculous amount of views. I think it's almost up to 2 million views at this point. Uh, and it's Jessica Whitmore versus the Black Widow, and it is the single most viewed match that I have ever produced. Now, again, I look at the analytics, and a lot of that comes from overseas, and I just scrolling through some of the comments. I'm like, all right, I could clearly see why a lot of people are watching it, and not necessarily for all the right reasons, but there you have it. And sorry, that's my messenger going off in the background. I forgot to mute my phone, but it's my show, so hey.
That's okay. It's your show.
That's right. So, every once in a while I have to kind of break the rules on that. But yes, I say all of that to say it is not completely surprising to me that you have a fan base in that location of the world.
I'm glad I just have a fan, let alone lots of them. So thank you, everyone.
You have several fans. You have lots of fans from all corners, and that's a fantastic thing that you got. And the fact that you had I don't want to say blend as well as you do, but I mean that I don't know if I can really describe it any other way. You do kind of morph, if you will, to fulfill the fantasy. I don't know if that's the appropriate term, but to fulfill the idea of what these fans are looking for. Now I know that
I just want to be. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I'll say I know you kind of feel bad when you have to kind of yank the rug out from underneath. It's like, no, I'm sorry, I'm not Hispanic or Asian or whatever else that you've been confused with, but still.
And the only reason I even brought nationality up is that is the single most asked thing whenever I'm at a show, I'm constantly over and over and over, what nationality are you?
Really?
And then it just, that's a single, I can't think of another question that I get asked constantly. And I'm not upset about it, just people want to know. If you're curious, okay, I'll tell you.
Okay. I don't know if I've ever really given it thought when I look at at your picture. I was like, some stuff I just, I'm probably less likely to think about it in most cases. But now here's a side question. I'm just gonna, if you were to say dye your hair, because Phoebe, if those who haven't actually seen her, you're a dark-haired young lady, right?
Yeah.
Do you think you could pass for another ethnicity, Caucasian, if you were to say lighten your hair up?
I've been bleach blonde before, and I've been mistaken. Like, wait, oh my gosh! I guess I'm gonna post it on my Instagram and show you that way everyone can see. It's actually kind of funny. I am unrecognizable. Whenever I was blonde for like 3 months, mostly because it was the maintenance, it was costly, and of course my hair like killed from it. People didn't know it was me. They just thought I was just like a random stranger. So whenever I'm like going up to my friend and they like have to triple look at me, oh, that's you. I'm a completely different person. I have been bleached blonde, and I can't say if I passed for Caucasian, but I definitely passed for a completely different person. I'm pretty sure if I was bleached blonde now and moved to California, I could start a whole new identity. No one would know of me.
Don't run away, Phoebe. Don't run.
I thought about it, which I'm sure a lot of people thought about it. I just want to run away right now.
It's like I just bleach my head, go to California, and just start a whole new life. Don't run away from us yet.
Yeah, I'll post it on Instagram, and you'll see. Oh my gosh, she was right.
Okay.
Nothing like
I'm gonna look out for it.
Now I just have a lot of gray hair.
Oh, you don't have any gray hair. Come on.
Oh, I do.
Not at no 26, you don't.
I started getting gray hair when I was 16. I think it's just hereditary because my every single one of my family members have gray hair, and they started out in their teens.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Maybe I just lived a hard life and I had never known.
Well, look, as long as there's no wrinkles and blemishes on the skin, the gray you can handle. Gray is
Yeah, it's
tolerable.
just dark circles. It's just dark circles and a bad back now.
The dark circles you can fix. The bad back, as long as you're wrestling, you might have to work with that for a little while. But the dark circles, get you some sleep. You'll be fine. Hula hoops some more. The hula hoops make you feel better.
Yeah.
Get that positive energy of the hula hoop.
Oh, so positive. And it's a workout. Have you tried hula hooping for 5 minutes?
I have not.
Try it next time. You'll be frustrated because you can't keep it up. Keep the hula hoop up on your waist long enough. I'm sure, because a lot of people have problems hula hooping. I don't know why.
Well,
it's a great workout.
You're a professional hula hooper now. Of course, you don't know why. It's hard for you to understand that. It's like, I don't know why they have problems with this. I mean,
oh my gosh, Baby D and I made a YouTube video. We're starting this little web series. We started a YouTube. We probably have like 3 videos out. But this recent one, Baby D hires a hula hoop trainer. It's me. But it's not me because she's trying to say Phoebe, but I'm telling her a different name. It's actually really hilarious. It's too long, though. It's like 10 minutes. If you have 10 minutes to spare and you just want to giggle, we'll have to repost it on Facebook. But it's so funny. And she's really good at hula hooping. I'm surprised. You
have to edit it down, that's all. You have to take your 10-minute short and edit it down to maybe like 2 or 3. And then what you do is you release the unedited version after you've done that. See, there's an order of operations to video release. You got to give them the quick version first, and after everybody says, "Oh man, that's great, that's hilarious," then you say, "Well, here's the extended cut."
Oh, next time,
See?
next video, we'll definitely go that way.
See that? That's all. Look, all you had to do is just send me a message and ask like, "Hey, what should I do with that?" I'd have been happy to say it.
Nice. Well, now I know. I didn't, but now I do.
That's right. No one's half the battle, as they say. See all this good stuff. Look at that. I haven't even gone through a significant chunk of these questions. Look how well we just moved on.
Yeah. Okay, wait, I'm sorry. Okay, question.
No,
question number
no.
1.
No. We've been doing fine. I
can answer a question.
Recapped a lot of stuff. I mean, we had to recap how you got into the business, why you got into the business. We talked about all that good stuff. Talked about you, working heel, or at least my vision of you as a heel. I know you said some people have booed you, but you weren't necessarily healing that. I mean, we've covered a lot of that. Well, the only thing that I haven't gone back to do in this, because this is the original set of questions that I asked you months ago, and some of it, I don't know if it really applies in the same vein as it did. When did we talk? You said you moved in April?
Yeah.
Okay, so that is almost a full year. I mean, as we're recording this, folks, is the last 2 days of January 2019. So, I mean, some of this stuff doesn't necessarily apply the same way as it did, like, what's your home promotion? Because you moved from that by now and kind of reestablished yourself. You talked about Rise. I know you were working Mid-South Wrestling for a while and had the women's championship there. So, I mean, just in the course of this conversation, we've kind of covered a lot of what we had. Especially, as you said, when you were in Oklahoma, it was fun, but you mainly worked the same girls over and over. And
Yeah.
I guess for those that are interested in knowing, I guess those being Skylar Slice, Kalisto, Nikki Knight, I think was in the mix of that. So I mean,
Yeah, and Erica.
And Eric, there you go. So that kind of the same rotation, and you've done a fantastic job of kind of marking these things off, even if you didn't know that you were doing it.
Oh, nice.
So you should give yourself a pat on the back for that. Now I will bring up one thing. Before, I'm sorry to cut you off. We'll bring up one thing that we did talk about the first time. That was the triple threat ladder match that you had, I guess, earlier in your wrestling career against Skylar and Kalisto.
Yeah, it was my 16th ladder match.
Yeah, that was your 16th.
Oh, not my 16th match, not 16th. My 16th match.
You actually kept count. That was your 16th match.
Yeah, I completely lost count by now, but that was I definitely remember that one because whenever I got asked, I was like, yes, that's how I even got into wrestling, was all the craziness that Sabu would do with chairs and ladders and all the extreme matches that I've watched, not just with him, but with other people. I mean, that, believe it or not, that's essentially how I got into wrestling, was extreme matches and death matches. I don't know why. Maybe I have a little psychotic trait or something. I don't know, but it was just, well, I think I have a strong stomach. But that's what got me into wrestling. So when I got asked to do a ladder match, I was like, yeah, so check that one off of my list. Next.
Yeah, but you took a huge bump off of it. If I recall, my notes say that you took brain damage onto a ladder and a spine buster by Skylar, if I remember correctly here. So, And if anybody's looking for that match, I believe it's on Skylar's Facebook. I think that's where I saw it.
Yeah, yeah. It's I think. Well, she has it on her YouTube. It's about like if you look for it on YouTube, Skylar, Phoebe, and Calista ladder match. It's like 20 minutes long. I remember falling on the ladder. I don't know, maybe 5-6 times.
Well, I know twice at least. I mean, just on what I wrote, I know twice at least. Now, I'm sure your body is far more accurate than my notes.
It was a fun, like, it's so funny because I've never trusted anyone to hurt me. Like I trust Skylar and Calista because like we were all really nervous about it. We were training like 2 weeks prior before the match. Like as soon as we found out, we just started coming up with ideas with the ladder match, and in the end, I think it was like 200 or 250 people came to the show to watch our match, and we were the main event. It was so much fun. Really scared. Like we were like a nervous wreck. And then after it was done, we're like, oh, thank God it's done. Thank God it's over with. So the promoter had 2 shots of vodka waiting for me whenever I got backstage. I was like, oh my, because as soon as the adrenaline wore off, I was shaking. And then the next morning, like my back was killing me. Like it was hard to like bend over. It was hard to get up off the bed. And then I didn't even think twice about it. Like I was ready to go to training the next day. It was a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to the next time I have a ladder match. So if that happens.
I'm sure that will. I mean, but are you telling me that all we gotta do now is just offer you up some vodka and you'll take the match?
I mean, now, like I gotta get a little bit of something other than some vodka. But then, yeah.
Well, I missed my opportunity then. I could have had you wrestle for me. Like, look, I can get you top shelf.
I think it was top shelf. I just remember chugging it back, and like me, I remember at one point, me and Skylar and someone else were like cheering after the show, and the beer that Skylar was holding slipped out of her hand, and then she just started shaking, and her adrenaline wore off, and she like immediately had to sit down.
Oh. The life you guys live.
Yeah, it was really scary because I was nervous for her. I was wanting to make sure she was okay, but it was just adrenaline. That was all.
Again, the life you guys live. Just all of a sudden, my adrenaline just goes bottom out.
Oh my gosh! A fan got her toe broken at that show.
How? When they all fell on her through the ladder?
Yeah, Calista or Skylar threw a ladder at one another, and then it just bounced off and just hit and landed on this woman's toe. And then there was like another point where there was like a group of women that left because there was at one point in the match, me and Calista drop kicked the ladder in Skylar's crotch. And those few women did not find that amusing at all. We got up and left in a huff and puff.
I can't imagine why. I don't know why they would see that this is.
That's what I heard. That's just hearsay. You know how people talk.
Yes, I do. I mean, it happens at depending on what building you're in and where you're located, it happens in almost every wrestling show. Somebody's got something to say. Hey, I don't want to see that.
Skylar wanted to do that. I didn't bring that up. I mean, of course, I thought of it in the back of my mind, but she said it.
She volunteered this, like, hey, I'm gonna tell
You know what would be funny? And after it happened, she like grabbed someone's water out of their hand, just splashed it on her crotch. It's like, ah! I was like, what's water gonna do?
Did she do that?
I didn't do that. She said she did that.
See, I was like, I don't remember. I was like, she must have been off camera when that happened. But
That's what I heard. Again, hearsay.
oh my goodness, the things y'all, the stuff you come up with for spots in these shows that are insane. Now you know.
Oh, she was actually my last match of 2018.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And
She's back.
Yeah, at that time I finally got to meet her son.
Oh, did you melt? I said, did you melt when you saw her son?
Oh my gosh, he is so cute. Well, I think like most babies are cute, but he super cute, super adorable.
Well,
Still did not make me want one.
No, okay. Well, that was the next question because you know that there lies the real question that every female athlete has to come across at some point. It's like, hey, you know, is what's it going to be? Is it going to be career or family?
And we'll just wait. We'll wait.
At this point, you're like, okay, it didn't make me want one.
No, I would definitely babysit though.
Oh, that's not the same. It's not the same.
It's not.
No, you can always hand it back over then. You can always say, all right, I'm done. Here you go. I'll see you next week. You can do that.
I just want to be like the cool aunt, you know? Come on over, let's chill, let's have fun. And then as soon as you start like acting up, okay, you're gonna have to go now. I can't. Yeah. I don't know what to do in this situation.
You can always portray the cool aunt / you know, if you're a guy, uncle role. You know, as long as you do not have to have the responsibility of raising. If you don't have that on your side, you can wear the cool hat.
Oh yeah, I'm like the cool aunt to my godson. We're always having fun, except like if he gets upset or again, like I don't know how to deal with angry people, mostly because it's kind of like I'm starstruck. So when kids are upset, I don't know how to react to that. Like I want to laugh because you're so cute and you're mad, but then I also want to take you seriously because you deserve to be taken seriously. But you're still so cute whenever you get mad.
Well, that depends on how far down on the I'm mad scale the kid is. You know, now we're going into parenting advice, and and if you start getting off in the spoiled brat territory, it's time to take out the belt.
Oh my gosh.
We're gonna settle this right now. So you know, you got to get it somewhere before somebody take you out in public. So you got to understand there's consequences behind what you do and say. You do that out in public somewhere where your folks ain't around. It's like the average person's not gonna put up with that.
Yeah, that's true. And don't even get me started on the world today. Oh my goodness, my heart is hurt. My heart just hurts right now for everyone.
Well, give the world a big kiss, and you know we'll try not to make it a political statement right now.
And then just going back to wrestling, like wrestling was like a positive outlet. So if I can be that positive outlet for people, whether they just want to see me get beat up or they like my hula hoop or they think I'm fun, then I definitely want to be that positive light that they can have amongst this fucked up world that we are living in.
Yeah, it's getting there. Well, I can't even say it's getting there. It's there. So hopefully we could reverse this process in the near future. Would you say that you and your colleagues, I mean, when I first interviewed you, I believe most of you were pretty fresh on the scene. Not a lot of years or months or matches underneath you. Well, that's pretty much changed, particularly in your case. You and Baby D have kept on kind of trucking along. But would you say that the experience has mounted in your brand and your names amongst you and the ladies that you have worked in that area, Erica, Kalista, Nikki Knight, Skylar Slice, Angel Blue, Baby D, and again, I'm sure I'm missing some, have kind of prospered over the last several months?
Oh yeah, especially like Texas right now has such a big circuit now. There's a lot more women wrestlers now than what I've seen. Except up north. Up north and on the East Coast, tons of female wrestlers. Tons. I definitely want to get up there and work different people. But I feel like, just in my own personal judgment of my own self, I've gotten a lot better. I've gotten a lot more confident. I've gotten a lot more comfortable because I've been able to get out of my comfort zone. And this is just 9 months finally being out of Oklahoma. And so I'm excited to see what's going to happen 9 months from now if I just keep continuing on this train of, I don't know. I was going somewhere with it, but I'm on this train. So we'll see where it ends up in 9 months.
You lost you pointed out one for a second.
Yeah, I mean, I thought I knew where I was going with it, but really, no one knows where we're going. We're just going to keep going.
Hey, it works for me. I'm going to follow you, Phoebe. I'll follow you. It's all good. I think if I can interpret some of that, you're talking about your path of growth and the path that you could possibly take, because the future is fluid. You never know which way you're gonna go.
Yeah.
You just kind of got to go with it.
That's true. The one thing, another thing that really helped me in these 9 months was going to seminars. I've been to a jazz seminar, and she is just phenomenal. I mean, she knows exactly what she's doing. She called me BB. And then I met her again, and she's like, "Oh, it's Phoebe," but the first time it was BB. I guess she didn't hear me say Phoebe, but just heard B, and I was just B. I of course didn't correct her. I'm BB. Jazz called me BB. I'm gonna be BB. And then just went with it. And then this past RISE seminar that happened a couple weeks ago, still buzzing for it. That's actually my third RISE seminar. And so I'm actually planning on going to my fourth RISE seminar in the end of March 29th. Gail Kim will be orchestrating that seminar, so I'm really looking forward to that one as well. 2 weeks ago when they came to Texas, it was Saray Knight, Mercedes Martinez, and Jimmy Jacobs doing the seminar. So just going to seminars alone, just with people that have been in the business so long and have found so much success and willing to help others, really helped me. I think that's one thing. And then I guess just watching my matches. Because when I wrestled for RISE, I got picked to wrestle on RISE. So excited, because it was my first singles match since December, and it was my third singles match since September. Because I've just been doing tag matches with Baby D, trying to get fun and sexy out there, get our brand out there, and just get noticed. And then I finally got to have a singles match, and there were some fans out in the audience that didn't know I was there, and I was the first match. So when I came out, they're like, "Oh, Phoebe," and I'm like, "Yes, someone at least knows me." And then there's like 2 fans that stopped me and said, "I'm just so used to getting beat up with Baby D that it was nice to see you out there kicking ass for once." I'm like, damn, I guess I got to start kicking more ass.
Well, it would help, I'm sure. For the
Yeah.
fans to believe in you. Your fan base wants to believe that you can kick some ass too. Not just be
On my own.
on
Yeah,
your
it
own.
was good to do that. I wrestled in front of Booker T that I didn't know I was wrestling, and because it was at Reality of Wrestling is where they held the show at. So he was in attendance, and I finally got to meet him, and he said that he loved me and my hula hoop. He asked for my name, and honestly, 10-year-old young Phoebe was like screaming inside because Booker T loves me and my hula hoop. This is so exciting.
That's
But it was
great.
fun. I had a lot of fun.
So you might be one of the next ladies' night shows that he puts on.
Maybe. I almost said, I am available for your ladies' night out, but I didn't. I should
Why
have.
didn't you say it?
I should have. I think because I was just so like in awe because he was giving me advice
Mhm.
that I just wanted to just soak that advice that he was giving me.
You just said, I could be
And
at your
plus,
ladies' night show.
I should have. Dang it, I should have. But there will be a time where
They'll do another
maybe I'll
one.
cross paths with him again, and hopefully he remembers me, and then I'll say, I'm available.
There'll be another ladies' night show. Don't worry.
Yeah.
You'll
One
get
of
on
these
that.
days, I will be there.
They seem like they do it once every 6 months or so. So I think they're the ladies' night 4 or 5 at this point. So yeah, I wouldn't worry
I
about
think it's 5, yeah. I think it's 5 or
it.
4.
Well, there you go. Matter of fact, I need to watch one of those. I haven't sat down and looked at it yet.
Really good matches
I
that
had,
I've seen.
well, I try to stay up on the changes and the goings on in women's wrestling as much as I can. Although there's a slew of wrestling just all across the board. I mean, just wrestling all over the place. It's hard to keep up. So yeah, I have to just kind of narrow it down and get to the ones that I know, or at least the ones relative to my brand, and keep up with that. Speaking of which, before I move into the second segment, have you begun to watch or had any interest in looking at the WoW product? I'm interested in hearing what a independent wrestler may have to say about that particular brand of women's wrestling.
I haven't watched it yet, but I do know a few girls there personally, and I'm super proud for them and happy for them that they're on there. I've definitely seen clips and videos of it. It's just there are just so much wrestling now that it's just hard to keep up. And then whenever, like, I feel really embarrassed when I go to training and then I hear people talk about a match and I'm like, I hadn't even fucking watched it. Like, I feel so out of the loop. It's No,
Okay.
I haven't watched it. I haven't watched it yet. I do want to. I don't have cable.
Your cord cutter.
I just have like Hulu and Netflix, and then we also have like the
That
New Japan
that
app on our
qualifies,
phone on our. Hmm.
I said that qualifies, that makes you a cord cutter. No cable. You just if you just stream it online.
Last time stream online. Damn it! I'm so bad with technology. Like I didn't even think about streaming online.
Well, now let me just say this. First off, let me clarify my position with WoW, because typically I would have watched it by now and done a review on the show. I also have not seen episode. I think they're going into episode 3 this Friday. I also have not seen any of those episodes because I do not have Access TV, which is what it airs on. It airs Friday nights Eastern Time, 9 p.m. Access TV, if I'm not mistaken. Well, I know the station. I think the time is 9 p.m. So, but I have caught two of the matches that somebody just decided to record and upload on YouTube. But I am going to take the extra mile and I'm going to go on to Sling TV, free plug for them. I'm going to pay the $25 and go through and watch all these episodes so I can provide my opinion as to the new update of WoW and all that good stuff that they're doing right now. Is it worth watching? Is it a good show? Are there good characters? Is it too corny? Are they going back to the old cartoon style? Who knows? But I will be there to give you the review in the future.
You know, I hate to admit this, but I mostly watch like Hell's Kitchen or Kitchen Nightmares.
So are you going to be a cook too?
Absolutely not. Gordon Ramsay would have a field day with me just bashing my vegan and vegetarian dishes. It's a guilty pleasure. It's so awesome. And Survivor, oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? I like reality TV so much because I find it so fascinating that people will allow cameras to follow them and do anything to be on TV. It's fascinating, especially on Survivor. When I'm sure you've seen Survivor, and like day one, everyone's all like blah, 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 happy to be there, and then day 5, people are ready to like cut each other's throat. You start seeing like the real side of some people, and it's fascinating. It really is.
That's right. You know why? Because you can only fake it in front of the camera for so long. A lot of people think that, I can put up a good front for the camera, and you can
But then once you're
for a little while.
but once you're like on an island with no water, no food, you can barely sleep. You're gonna get wild. Gonna get crazy.
Yeah, and you got to take into account that there's probably hours worth of that footage that you're just never going to see. That's edited down for the sake of, all right, we're going to make this dude look like a jerk.
So it's just as much as I love wrestling, and there's so many wrestling videos, footage, like I want to watch it all, but deep down, I want to watch Gordon Ramsay call him a fuckface because he doesn't know how to cook eggs. That's entertaining to me. I don't know.
See, you have to be like me. I have already accepted. I cannot watch every promotion and every wrestling. Matter of fact, I probably shouldn't say this on the air. I got to get ready to cancel my Powerbomb TV subscription.
No, they're not.
No, I'm getting ready to cancel. Look, first, I don't even know if they call themselves Powerbomb anymore. I think they're Independent Wrestling .tv, something like that. And it's been fun while I had it. It was great, but the problem with me and that particular app, and I guess this is a small review, is that you pretty much need to know what it is you're looking for before you go into it. Like, there's a bunch of independent wrestling that's on there, but a lot of those promotions don't mean anything to me because I've never heard of them. So, say you've got independent promotion A from, I don't know, St. Louis. Well, I don't know any of those people. I don't know any of the wrestlers there. I'm not familiar with the angles or anything like that. So it gets hard for me to like, okay, I want to watch this and carry on. Opposed to if I at least know one person there, whether that be personally or professionally, I'll say, oh man, Fred Yehi is on this in wrestling for the title over here. Let me go watch him, or something like that. Oh, hey, Phoebe's at this promotion that I never heard of. Let me go watch and see her in the main event. That would make me look at it. Whereas just randomly rolling through there and like, all right, well, what am I going to watch today? Can that could be a little time consuming.
I'm in the same boat with you.
And I've had it for a while. They've gotten some good money out of me. I think I don't feel bad about it. I kept that thing way longer than the free trial. So, long enough for it to transition from being Powerbomb TV to whatever it is they changed the name to. And they have changed the name for anybody that's looking for it. It's no longer Powerbomb TV. I don't know why. I just,
Dang.
Well, I mean, independentwrestling.tv is the name for it now. Independent Wrestling on Demand. And they got some really good stuff, and I don't want to turn anybody off to it. They got some good matches and good promotions and all the stuff like that. It's just I can't keep up with it. It's just a little bit more than what I can watch at any given time, and I need to know what it is I'm looking at before I go into it. I think the only thing that I look at on there consistently probably was Women's Wrestling Revolution.
Okay.
So, if you're a fan of women's wrestling, that's they got some great matchups there. And I'm telling you, one of these days I'm going to predict that Fun and Sexy will probably be defending the titles up in that location in the Northeast.
Oh, nice.
So they have it. You like that prediction?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's time for random questions.
It's time for random questions, Phoebe. Although we've been kind of random already.
Random question one.
Random question one. What was the last scary movie you seen?
It was over Halloween, and we watched VHS 2.
Okay. Do you know the record? Just like what? Go ahead.
Oh, no. It's okay. What's the second question?
Do you know the record for the longest hula hooping session?
Huh? What was that question? What? What did you say?
Do you know the record for the longest hula hooping session?
Yes, it's 83 minutes.
Ah.
Oh, no, wait. No. 83 hours. It's over 3 days, and it's held by a dude.
It is held by a dude.
I forgot his name.
But you're a little bit up. I think you've given him some extra time. Or at least according to Wikipedia and the other website that I tried to verify it against. But the longest verified record, you are correct, it is held by a guy, Aaron Hibbs, from Columbus, Ohio, who kept a hula hoop spinning for 74 hours and 54 minutes.
Oh, there it is.
That is what he's clocked at.
For a few months at that time, about 2 years ago, I was trying to break that record, and it's hard. Holy crap.
Why would you try that?
Because then I could be the actual master of hula hoops. Because I have a world record.
Well, that's true, but my gosh. Just think about what you had. You got to eat hula hooping. You got to stand up for. You pretty much.
I don't know how he did it. I honestly don't. Because it's just weight hooping. You're just standing there. Like, he must have, wore a diaper or did coke or something. I don't know, but.
Well, the coke I could believe. I was like, that's the only. I was like, there's no way. I was like, look, after 48 hours, I think you begin to hallucinate without sleep.
I can't even stay awake that long. Oh my gosh.
I was like, yeah, I was like, there's lots of other things that I would like to be doing with my time in life other than hula hooping for 74 hours for 3 days straight. And just think about it.
One of these days,
3
I
days.
will attempt it. Yeah, 3 whole days of just hula hooping. He was dedicated.
Yeah. I don't know if I have anything that I'm that dedicated to. I was like, all right, I got 3 days worth of this. No. No.
Just like if you think you can't do anything, just think back. This dude hula-hoop for nearly 3 days. I can do this.
Well, that might be the perk of this story right there, is that Aaron Hibbs did something for 3 days. So if he could do that, then whatever it is whatever task that is in front of you right now, you can get over it. If that dude can hula hoop for 3 days, because like she said, he had to either messed himself up, wore a diaper, did coke, Red Bull, 5 Hour Energies, I don't know, something. There's no way that he did that on natural power.
You never know. You never know. Let's just, with good faith, say that he did it naturally.
Okay. Since you said, I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt. He did it naturally. Clearly, you must have mentally felt this question, because you already told me that you do not have cable. So the question was, you're cord cutting. Name 3 apps you should have.
3 apps?
Yes. If you are not going to have cable, name me 3 apps that you should have in the effort to cord cutting.
The cord cutting?
Yeah,
apps?
getting rid of cable. That's what you call it. You cut the cord.
Oh, fuck. YouTube.
Okay.
Hulu.
All right.
Damn, I don't even know what kind of apps I have on my phone.
Come on, this can't be that. You got to know it. It's only 3. You got YouTube. You got Hulu. Give me. And you know I want
Twitter.
I can't accept Twitter. that's more a social media platform. I mean,
YouTube. Okay, yeah. YouTube, Hulu. Oh, damn. Oh, the network, the WWE network. There you go.
Okay, we'll take that one. I also would have accepted Crackle, Sony Crackle, which is
Crackle.
which is a freebie. Yeah, Crackle. Tubi TV, Tubi. I would have accepted that. I would have accepted Global Force. I would have accepted an HD antenna, although that isn't really an app. But I would accept having an HD antenna, because if you're not gonna have cable, get yourself a nice HD antenna. You can get all your local stuff. So there's a little cord cutting advice for the people out there who don't want to pay for cable anymore.
I've only heard of Crackle. None of the other things that you said.
What? You haven't? Okay, all right.
No.
Well, all right. Write this down now. For anybody out there that hasn't done this, these are the freebies. There's different levels of cutting the cord. You can get you an app like a Hulu, where you're paying for your service. Hulu, Netflix, WWE Network, Global Wrestling Network. Those are all paid services, and they're good. But if you're not wanting to pay and you're looking for something free that you just kind of turn on and look at some stuff, Tubi probably has the best options of stuff, just because they're closer to having things that are recent. They keep upping their ante, so that's Tubi, Tubi. And that's available on almost, well, I'm not going to say almost, it's available on every app store. Crackles, which is owned by Sony, speaks for itself. They got a lot of original content on there. So that's always good to have. With both of these things, if you can deal with looking at the commercials, then you're fine. Popcorn Flicks is another that I should put down in there. Flicks being Flix. So there we have it. Lesson learned.
Never even heard of them.
Well,
good to know, though.
Well, see, that's why I say you write those down, and you can just jump on it. I asked you this one last time. I'm going to ask it now. Phoebe gets an action figure deal, and she can have one accessory included with the figure. What is that accessory going to be?
The hula
Of course.
hoop.
If you weren't wrestling right now, you'd be doing blank.
I'd be working at the circus, honestly.
Okay. That ain't
Yeah.
bad.
Well, not like a carny, but like,
Yeah, circus, like Universal Circus.
yeah, like
Uh,
the Greatest Showman circus.
you want to get out there and do a musical too. See that you want to sing the while you're on the trapeze.
Singing? Mm-mm.
Well,
I
that's the
cannot sing.
you can't sing.
No,
Did we expose you as not having a good voice?
that is correct. I do not have a good voice.
Okay. All right. Well, just lip sync it then. You can do that.
Oh yeah, I can lip sync.
I may have to do that. I may have to create wrestler lip sync battle. That might be fun to put on the channel. Anyway,
Oh yeah.
I have to work on that. Name something you might bring on a date.
Shit.
Is it that
Bring
hard? Yeah. Name something you
probably
might
like
bring on a date.
I think I would probably bring my wallet.
Okay.
That's yeah. Yeah. I haven't been on a date in so long. And me and my boyfriend we'll go on dates or whatnot, but we it's been so long since I been on a date. One thing I'll bring on a date,
Yeah.
probably some patience, honestly. If I'm
Oh.
being truly honest, some patience.
Well, I don't know if we can actually put patience in your pocket. Take it on a date. So.
A flask. I'll bring a flask.
Oh my goodness. Well, I think I can accept that. The answers listed are as follows: lipstick or chapstick, depending on who you are. Money, breath mints. These are the top answers as listed by Family Feud, by the way. Breath mints or gum, flowers, condoms, phone, wine, an excuse to leave, a new outfit, or perfume/cologne. So,
And I just opted out and just went flask.
well, that's why I said I think I accept that because you went wine. I was like, that's about as close as you're gonna get. You didn't say what was in the flask. It's just implied that you would have some sort of adult beverage in there.
Some liquid courage. That's what I'm bringing.
Well, you have a boyfriend. You don't need liquid courage. That's already kind of settled in. You should be perfectly fine at that point. What is the original San Francisco treat?
I have no idea. What is the original?
Are you serious? Are you serious?
Is that rice-a-roni?
Yes.
It's the rice-a-roni.
Yes. It's like, how could you not know this? Of course you know the original San Francisco treat. It's rice-a-roni.
I was jerking your chain. Rice-a-roni.
There you go. That's right. The San Francisco treat. First time I ever heard that phrase used at all. And finally, grape nuts. You open the box, no grapes, no nuts. What's the deal?
Grape nuts?
Yes. It's a cereal.
Oh.
Have you heard of that?
No.
You haven't heard of grape nuts?
No.
Make sure when you get off, make sure you Google grape nuts.
Grape nuts, okay.
Grape. This is Let me make sure that I'm saying it so you can understand me before you Google something and you get the wrong picture. So, okay. Grape.
Grape nuts.
Yeah.
Oh, grape nuts.
No, GRAPE.
Oh, grape nuts. Oh, what about what's up with grape nuts?
I guess it's just a figure of speech that they made for the box. I guess I don't know.
Oh, darn it.
No, it's no dirty joke behind that or anything
Oh,
like
okay. Oh, shame on me then.
Let's not expose you for having. I mean, you already listed yourself for being the summer of '69. Let's not expose you for having these horrible thoughts. Matter of fact, I need to find a photo of that I can send to you later, so you understand what I'm talking about.
Grape nuts. Ugh.
Yes. Hey, you serious too? It's like this is just blowing your mind. You've never heard of this? Yes, that is a cereal, and
No cereal of mine.
and it has neither grapes or nuts in the box.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. Hey, it happens that way. You know, it's just an expression, I assume, or at least that's how the joke went on Saturday Night Live. So anyhow,
Fantasy booking.
we have gotten past your random questions, and we're off now into fantasy booking. Because I don't remember if we did fantasy booking with you before, so why not give it a go now? Because the whole premise behind fantasy booking is that every wrestler has a storyline / angle that they have locked into their head that they can break out at a moment's notice to say, promoter, this is what I like to do and this is who I like to do it with. So Phoebe, what is your fantasy booking? And bear in mind, in this particular scenario, it has to be with somebody that it can actually take place with. So unfortunately, you have to disqualify saying, well, I'd like to have a match with Sherry Martel. I'm sorry, Sherry Martel is no longer with us, so it wouldn't work. Or I'd like to wrestle Eddie Guerrero. No, sorry, that wouldn't qualify.
Oh. Oh.
Did I cut the legs out from underneath you by doing that?
No. No.
Okay.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily pick a certain opponent, but I have expressed this before. Like, my dream match is actually my retirement match, and I want it to be a death match in Japan at I'm gonna butcher the name, Koregan Hall. Did I butcher it?
No. Korean Hall. I think you if it went proper, it was pretty close. I think you got it.
Don't know who my opponent would be. I just know it's my last match because it's a death match. I'm not coming back from that. But yeah, I believe it or not, that is actually like my fantasy / dream match. Is my retirement match. I will have it one of these days. Well,
apparently when you retire.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, it's going to be my last one.
Now, you know what? I think we did talk about this before, and I thought my 2 cents to that regard was there's only one person that can really be in that match if you were going to have it. Because it's got to be Skylar.
Yeah. Yeah, she's my first match.
As I said, it's got to come full circle. She has to be the one to retire you. In a perfect world, in a perfect scenario, you got the death match, and it comes down to the two of you for however many weeks or months this has been building up, and it gets to where she gets to drop you.
Drop me, literally.
And she's got her move. I mean, she's got that double hand choke slam that she likes to do. That well, what we call brain damage. I don't know if she's actually named her version of it, but we'll stick with brain damage for it now.
It definitely is killer.
Well, see, there you go. And I'm not even sure if I have anything that could top that. Normally,
Mm-mm.
I give my version of it, but I think that's probably about as good as it's gonna get. I can tweak it some. That I can do. You got your finished final match, the death match, Skylar. Like I said, the only thing that I would add to that is that it just can't be some one done blow off match. It's got to lead into that, so everybody knows the stakes. They know the history. They know that Skylar was my number one, and one of us is gonna be the last.
Spoiler alert, it's going to be her because I'm retiring.
Well, we're not expecting you to do this anytime soon. I'd hope.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I mean,
As much as I do enjoy extreme and death matches, I definitely think I could do it in hindsight. But then just like if I do it without fully realizing like everything that it entails, I don't know if I'll be able to do it again and again like some people.
well,
Kudos to them, on the extreme circuit, but it's going to be my last match. Definitely.
It'll be your last match until your next last match.
Yeah.
They all say that, and then somebody offers you a huge wad of money, and then it's like, all right, well, you know what? I think I can come out of retirement just once.
We'll see when that road approaches.
Well, hey, I'm just giving you like I hear it. It's like when you get ready to retire, he said that's when everybody wants you. It's like that. That's when they tighten up the tentacles. They're like they don't want to let you leave. They offer you everything that you wanted. They offer you more money and all that good stuff. Why? Because you saying I'm getting out of here. It is the way of wrestling.
It's just wrestling is just hard to quit. So I mean, I do get when people come out of retirement because we all just love wrestling. We don't want to stop, no matter how much our bodies are telling us, "Hey, you need to slow down," or "You need to stop." You just can't quit. And I get why someone would come out of retirement. But if I have an extreme death match and it's really brutal, I'm not coming back for a while.
Well, that's fair. I can see that. If you do come back someplace where you're not going to be seen right away.
Yeah.
Anyhow, social media, because promoters are out there, fans out there, and I'm going to say specifically the promoters because they're the ones that can actually pay some bills here. So, for those that are looking to contact you, book you on a show or send you fan mail or whatever the case may be, let them know where they can find Phoebe, the hula hooping princess.
Yes. Instagram, Phoebe_OneLove. It's the same thing on Twitter. And then Facebook, I don't have a last name. It's just Phoebe, PHO space EBE. I know that's kind of strange, but I'm on there. And then my email, PhoebeTheTreat@gmail. I haven't gotten rid of the treat yet, so it's going to be there for as long as I create another Google account.
Well, look, is it really worth creating another Google account at this point? You already got the...
No. Yeah, it's not worth it. It's just, I'm just going to keep it.
That's right. You can still be the treat, just not from San Francisco.
No.
There you go.
No more San Francisco.
Yeah, I tell you, you're the Texas Street now. Or maybe Wrestling Street. That applies everywhere.
You know, that's not a bad, it doesn't have a bad ring to it. Wrestling treat.
Phoebe the Wrestling Treat. Yeah,
We'll tweak it.
Yeah, you might have to iron out a little bit.
We'll like move some words around.
There you go. And for those of you fans out there listening to this program, you can catch me on several different platforms. More specifically, catch the Women's Pro Wrestling Network on several different platforms. Go to Women's Pro Wrestling Network on Facebook, all one word. Go to Women's Pro Wrestling Network on YouTube, also all one word. Go to WPNWrestling.com. That is the nexus for everything. You can listen to this podcast on Podbean.com, iTunes, and wherever you listen to your podcasts, such as TuneIn and Google Play and Google Podcasts and so on and so forth. So we just feed it out to a bunch of different locations. If you haven't found it on yours so far, let me know so I can make sure that I feed that out off into a different direction. I want to make sure that this podcast goes wherever you go. And if you haven't subscribed or followed or liked myself or Phoebe, then you should do that. You should go on there. You should follow us on Instagram. You should hit the follow button. This podcast, you should hit like, because all your support means the world. It really, really does. I think I've come up with it. Yeah, thank you. See, if Phoebe says it, then it's definitely true. I think I may have covered my ground there. Did I plug everything? Did I get it all in? Did I get it all?
Oh yeah, you did.
Thank you. You know, I love your reassurance, Phoebe. You're wonderful.
Oh, thank you. You're wonderful too.
Well, thank you. It's a mutual admiration society. And with that, folks, I think we will polish this one up, and if I have some time, I'm going to draw one last story out of Phoebe, but that's going to be off air. That's going to be for you to listen to on the Facebook page. If she has a particular kind of creepy story that's funny that she can share, if it's there, then you will find it right on that series. Possibly she might be episode 15 or 14, somewhere in there, if she has one that she can provide. But you won't know that until you go over to the Facebook page. So you make sure that you like, follow, subscribe, so that when these things go up and I have those videos, you can hear it first, just like you do here on YouTube or wherever you happen to be listening to this. So with that, for myself and the master of the hula hoop, Phoebe, I can't call it the San Francisco treatment. I was just about to fall into it.
You almost said it, yeah.
Almost. So let's try that again. For the master of the hula hoop and the Texas Street, Phoebe, we're going to say good night and so long, everybody.
Good night.
Thank you for listening to the WPN's Rights and Wrongs of Pro Wrestling. If you have questions or comments, please contact us via our Facebook or our YouTube channel at the Women's Pro Wrestling Network. If you're new to the WPN, feel free to subscribe to our channel and like our page. We appreciate your support. Thank you again for listening.